Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves have a heavyweight clash against Denver. Let's remind you of how this rivalry has played out the last few years. It started in the 2023 postseason. Anthony Edwards was electric, averaging over 30 a game, but Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray were just too good. The Nuggets won that series in 5. They went on to win their first and only NBA championship. Didn't get long before Minnesota got their revenge. The very next year, conference semis, they shocked me by coming back and beating the Nuggets in 7 games, winning Game 7 on the road. Ant scored 40 twice in that series. That was really his coming out party as a legit superstar. Now, this regular season series, Nikola Jokic just took over. Denver won 3 of 4. Jokic had triple doubles in all but one meeting, coming up just 1 assist short. In that, he scored 56 points in one of these meetings. So we've got the 2 superstars going head to head. I like the look on your face. What are we going to do with Jokic? If I know I'm going to cut to the end. I know you're picking Minnesota to win this in 7.
Yeah.
What are they doing with Jokic? How are they slowing him down?
I think you just got to send a couple of different defenders at him. It's not going to be one thing where you can just have the same defender on him all game. He needs to see a variety of defenders. He needs to make sure that every time he catches the ball, he sees a flood of defenders showing that they are alert that he has the ball and everybody's willing and ready to play. But you're not stopping Jokic.
Right.
You're not doing anything but trying to take away all the other gifts that might lead to momentum situations. I think Jokic is one of the best in the league at saying, hey, I can use the pass to get these guys going. That could end up a 6-point swing. That could end up sending you into a timeout. I think if you take those things away and force him to actually be a scorer but limit his other options, I think you can actually end up with some positive results.
So how does Ant do it? Give me what Ant does in this case. What does Anthony Edwards need to do for them to do what you're picking them to do, which is to win this series against a Denver team that a lot of people really like?
Yeah, I don't like counting the Timberwolves out. The Timberwolves are still that team that they get their back against the wall and something magical happens. I don't know what it is. I wish they didn't have to do that. I wish they could just, from the jump, just get on it from the jump ball, just be able to say, hey, man, this is how we play. We're coming this way, and we know exactly what to do at the end of games. But they don't do that. Sometimes they go down in a series. Sometimes they look like they don't have any fight at all, and they can reel off 3 straight games. I'm not counting them out anymore. I respect what they do, and I'm waiting on Ant-Man to turn the corner.
I think it's an important point. The game that Minnesota won in this matchup, it was a Sunday afternoon game on ABC. I think it was March 1st. Jokic took 29 shots. Jamal Murray took 22. They didn't double him at all. I think they stayed at home, and they said, Jokic, you can eat. You're going to eat anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to shut everybody else's water off. And they won that game on the road, dominated from start to finish. I wonder if that's going to be their strategy. You know you can't stop Jokic, so why even try?
Exactly.
And if you're thinking about DraftKings Sportsbook and you're thinking that might be the strategy, you're thinking about maybe Jokic putting up very big numbers, particularly involving scoring in this series. We'll see. We got splits here. All of us think it's going to be a great series. All of us think it's going 7. And Shump has Minnesota getting the win. Let's move on to the other series here out west. LeBron talking about what the Lakers have to do if they're going to do something almost no one is picking them to, and that is upset Houston in round 1.
The best rebounding team in the last 25 years. What do you mean?
Just like when it comes to...
You don't need to have a message. It's like going against the Mahomes team, and they're the best passing team in the last 30 years. The message don't need, hey, we don't need to let the receivers get off the line. We need to jump. You're like, what's the message? The message is get your ass in there, box out and rebound. You have a message. We all grown, man. Do your job.
I really like that. And here is a man to my right who knows what playoff LeBron is like. You went through a lot of postseasons with that man. You probably did have some times where the world was counting you guys out, whatever the case may be.
Down 3-1.
What's his message? What is his message to his teammates?
You got to stay within the locker room. I can't imagine him saying anything besides, like, that's fine. We still got 5 guys. We still going to go out here, and they going to have to beat us. Like, this is not a lay-down type of situation. I know LeBron doesn't have the youth on his side, but he's got guys in that locker room that are willing to compete. We still need DeAndre Ayton to show up. You know, Marcus Smart will show up. Like, I have trust that he will show up. Luke Kennard's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? These things have to happen, but you have to feel like, hey, if we ride with LeBron, good things are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk into this feeling like, oh, this guy's down or that guy's down. You got to play as if they were never there.
I think it's important. The Lakers only have 2 high-volume three-point shooters, Luke Kennard, Rui Hachimura. those guys have to give a volume of attempts, which means LeBron's going to have to draw a lot of doubles, create a lot of mismatches against a long and rangy Houston team. I still think this is a mismatch, and that is, we're talking ourselves into it the longer that we go. Game one is going to tell us a lot.
It's really unfortunate because the Lakers, and I remember playing the soundbite from LeBron where he was talking about how he had figured out how to be the third option on this team, how to let it be Luka's team, let Reeves be the second option. I'll figure out my place in all of this. And now here we are, because of those injuries that are so ill-timed, you've got everyone saying, well, now we got to play around LeBron again. It's just a terrible, so give me a quick final word. It's just a real shame they're not going to get a chance to take their shot at this thing.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it is LeBron has been shape-shifting his whole career. As the playmaker, he has become the most ball dominant. So he switched position from the scorer to the facilitator. Whatever you need, he got it.
Yeah, 10 years ago, maybe even 5. To see what Vince Goodwill thinks he has figured out here. Because as I read the question, he said, no, Greeny, you're not reading it right. So let's see if you know something I don't. The question from Sneaky Humbo is, who is the only coach to sweep an NBA playoff series as an 8th seed? That's the question. What do you think?
See, you assume that the 8th seed that swept the 1 seed.
Right.
That is not the case. It's an 8th seed that got to the second round. George Karl, Jeff Van Gundy in the second round in 1999. The Knicks beat the Heat in round 1 and beat Atlanta and swept them in round 2 on their way to the finals.
Oh, my God. That is right. That is so good. That is, look at Hembo is devastated. Can we get a shot of Hembo, please? I think he was so sure he had you. Come on. That is well done. I read it I assumed it meant first round, but I was wrong. I assumed that's extremely well done. All right, score that one for Vinny Goodwill. Let's see if we can hit the mark on some of these as well. Hitting the mark brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook as we look ahead to tonight's play-in finale. Vince, let's go. After you nailed that one, give me a prop you like on the Golden State Warriors tonight.
Stephen Curry, after that virtuoso performance in L.A., 5 threes, 30 points. Who's going to be guarding tonight? Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker. He's going to light them all up this evening. I think he's going to continue the trend that he's been playing on.
The prop is 5 and more threes. How about one for Phoenix on the other side?
Devin Booker, 25. He's a big game player. I think they need him to score. He let Jalen Green take a lot of shots late. I think he's going to be far more forceful and aggressive offensively. He's going to score more than 25.
So that's the West game tonight. And in the East, what's your favorite play? Hornets, Magic.
LaMelo Ball, 35 points, rebounds, and assists. We know that he can score and he can dish. I think he's going to take a lot off the glass tonight to start his own fast break against this slow-down Orlando team. He's going to pass that, I think, quite easily tonight. He's going to shoot better than 2 for 16 from 3 as well.
And he is eligible to play, which we'll get into in a minute. But to recap those picks, we got Steph Curry going the over on threes, Devin Booker the over on points, and LaMelo Ball the combined total of points, rebounds, and assists going over 35. If you like those picks, they're a parlay on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Look for the Hitting the Mark featured parlay priced at plus 386 odds. Now back to what I just said. LaMelo Ball is active tonight. The NBA fined him $35,000 for his trip on Bam Adebayo the other night and upgraded the action to a flagrant, but did not suspend him for tonight's game. Yesterday, Adebayo was asked if Bell had reached out to apologize for ending his season prematurely. And you can see Bam, who limped gingerly to the microphones. Here's what he said.
It didn't happen. By that time, I was in the shower trying to figure out what I was going to do next. Obviously, everything happened all at once. And, I wanted to be out there. So, at some point, I'll see him again. We'll have that conversation.
Okay, so to be clear, I wanted to ask this to Iman Shumpert because you're the one person who would know. So LaMelo Ball has that play. It wasn't mean. He was a repeat offender, but I don't think anyone thought, including the Miami side, thought that it was intentional or that he was trying to hurt someone, I guess is the best way to put it. But he said afterwards, I'm going to go check on him. What's the etiquette on that? Is that something you do right after the game? Is that something he does over the summer? How do players generally handle situations like that?
Well, I'll say this. Most times it's going to be based upon if I did get hurt. Like him getting hurt means that now it's a red alert. You need to check on him right after the play. You need to check on him after the game. After that, you're going to see him in the summer. You might want to check on him again to make sure everything's okay. Because guys are competitors. Guys don't want to leave out of games. So if I'm knowing Bam as a competitor and something like that happens in a play-in situation, I can't do anything but go with my guard up the next time I see somebody. Like, if we play y'all next, I am going to be setting harder screens. I am going to be playing a different type of game just because at this point, I don't know what it was. You know, sometimes the communication helps that. I think LaMelo should make sure he goes out of his way to do that.
And you were making a point there about exactly how the league did rule on this.
The league adjudicated this as a flagrant foul, too. It takes a lot for the league to go from it being a no call in the game to a flagrant foul penalty, too, which says he should have been thrown out of the game. If you take away LaMelo Ball, even the 2 for 16, and then you take away Bam, Miami probably moves on. They have a beef to feel like that they were wronged in this situation. I understand the play couldn't be officiated because there was no stoppage in play, which is why Iman has said someone should have done something in the meantime to slow the game down so it could be adjudicated. But flagrant foul penalty, too, for the league to come down on that, that is serious.
Right. Either way, and obviously that's a bad situation there, but Charlotte has been such a good story. Do you think they win tonight? Do you think Charlotte beats Orlando tonight?
Yeah, I definitely, and it's not so much about what I think about Charlotte. It's just I've been worrisome about the Magic the whole year, but more and more so in that first play-in game. It's just I don't see the fight. I don't see the togetherness, and that's just something you can't go without in the playoffs.
Winner will get Detroit in round